Blog Talk Radio.
Everyone, welcome to the Women's Transformation Show. I'm your host, Kim Wilborn of Women'sTransformation.com, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area. My mission is to help you connect to your true self so that you can experience the magic of manifesting your unique higher purpose, discovering your personal superpowers and expressing them more and more every day. Together, we create a space where you can live a life that fully expresses who you are and what you love. It's July 12th, 2012, and today our guest is Lisa Michaels of naturalrhythms.org. I so appreciate you sharing the show with your friends on Twitter and Facebook, and I invite you to visit me on youtube.com/Kim Wilborn, where you'll find videos to help you raise your vibration, and that's KIMWILBORN. And I hope you'll download your free copy of my ebook, Raise Your Vibration in 2 minutes or less, at www.womens-transformation.com. And I also want to invite you to get a sneak peek at my new coaching program. It's called Reinvent Yourself this summer. And you can find out more about it and get a free gift when you go to Women'sTransformation.com and click on Coaching. And now on to our guest. Lisa Michaels is a celebrated elemental wisdom teacher and success creation coach. She guides you in connecting with the dynamic powers of the natural world to increase your ability to thrive in every area of your personal or professional life. Chosen as a Hay House mover and shaker in 2010, Lisa's specialty is helping you to ignite your inner gifts and juicy feminine powers of creation through her products, online trainings, workshops, and facilitator and coach trainings. Her most current products include the books Nature's Success Systems and Natural Rhythms. That's Nature's Success System, just one, and Natural Rhythms, as well as the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle, and we'll be talking more about that later, and the Elemental Forces of Creation audiobook. Now, Lisa's work has helped thousands of people activate their life purpose and powers of creation to create sweet, soul-filled success. I love Lisa's work so much that I'm one of her affiliates, and it was a joy to meet her in person last month when she came to California as part of the Wealthy Goddess experience. Welcome to the show, Lisa.
Oh, Kim, I'm so excited to be here today. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, it's so great to have you. And this show is all about transformation, so I'm going to dive right in and ask you, what's the biggest transformation you think your amazing work brings to the world?
Well, you know, Kim, I've been doing this work for quite some time now, really 13 or 14 years, and I've watched a lot of women, a few men, but mostly women, really get some super deep transformation. And they come away, really no matter what they're engaging, which program, whether it's a life program or a business program, with a much more deeply grounded sense of self, an ability to they have their inner wisdom activated, and they get connected to their ability to really utilize the forces of creation in real conscious and dynamic ways in their life, really connecting to nature and understanding the way that nature works, you know, can not only help them in their own lives, but it helps in their relationships. It helps any dream that they're wanting to bring into reality. Again, whether it's a life dream or a business dream, they really get those superpowers activated because nature contains powers. And
well, tell us more about that. Explain to the listeners what the forces of creation are and how fundamental it is to understand them.
The forces of creation, when you go outside in nature, it's a living, pulsating field of creation out there, and you can connect with each one of the elements and learn how to utilize them for guidance. So let's take Earth, for example. You know, when you need to put something in structure and form, when you need to know how to move the matter of your life around or really take better care of it or connect deeply with your body, it's the element of Earth that you want to connect to. When you're having an emotional issue, maybe you find yourself steeped in fear or you're you're really dealing with a relationship issue, water's the element of mirroring. It's the emotional and feeling realm, and it can show you and really help you to understand how to get those emotions clear and clean and current so that you can really magnetize your desires to you more effectively. When you need a vision, when you need to be able to focus in the mental realm, when you want to really direct the forces of creation, it's air you call on. And, we engage air in our physical body all the time with every breath, and air is all around us. It's this invisible element, but it is incredibly powerful. In the same way your thoughts are powerful and they're invisible, and yet they really, truly are what directs the forces of creation. And then you've got fire, the connection to the solar force, and in your own body, that's your energy and your ability to take action towards your dreams and desires. And when you understand archetypally how each one of these elements work, and you start to form a relationship with them, when you need to know what action to take, you can really tune into fire. You can tune into your own inner fire and get connected to that and, get some real guidance from inside of yourself. And then there's spirit, that relationship to all that is, however you're defining or naming spirit in your own life. But it's also the connection to your essence self, your unique being like nobody else. And when you're connected to what your uniqueness is and how you uniquely create something, then that's what moves through you into the world of form in a way that helps your creations to be aligned with your purpose and your soul essence. So I have found, for me and for the women that I've worked with, there is so much support for all of who you are from the natural world. It's just truly, truly amazing.
Wow. Well, it's funny. I love your work, as you know, and my best friend Glennie, she loves it too. And we go to this restaurant every week, and when we step outside the front door, for some reason, it's just a really windy spot. And now, every time we step outside that door and that wind hits us, Glennie says, "Air, it's air," and it reminds us of it. And it's an example of how the elements are there, but we're not always conscious of them or interacting with them in a conscious way. What do you suggest as the first step in beginning to consciously engage the elements?
Well, honestly, on both my websites, there's a free downloadable gift that has a workbook, and I think that workbook is so nice for going outside and starting to establish a relationship. Because it guides you through each one of the elements in both the large picture way, that means connecting to the Earth Mother, and then connecting to your body, your personal earthen container. And then it guides you through some questions to ask about your life and how Earth is functioning in your life. And then it takes you through every one of the elements. So I think that's a fabulous tool to begin to get this relationship really, really going. And somebody can find that on naturalrhythms.org or on lisa-michaels.com.
Yeah, it's a really generous Get Started kit, and that's how I got started, so I want to recommend that. It really began to wake me up to the elements all around me, and it did help me consciously create a relationship with them. And then I began a journey through all your different offerings, and the latest one that I've done is the 29 Days to Ignite Deep Grace, Transforming Fear Through the Power of Love. And I started that one, I think, at the end of May and did it throughout June. And it was really amazing, and I'd love it if you could talk a little bit more about that. One of the parts that I really connected to was Inanna's descent. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that I created 29 Days to Ignite Deep Grace, and grace is one of those soul qualities that no matter what you're going through, if you've got grace activated, it makes things flow a little bit more smoothly, even if you're in the depth of a deep transformation. And I created it because a lot of people didn't understand the transformative quality of creation and how sometimes when you're choosing to do a transformation or you're choosing to engage a creation, sometimes other things fall away. In the same way, the caterpillar's life is all about, munching on leaves and staying really grounded. And when it comes time for the chrysalis meltdown, there are no frames of reference for that anymore. And then the emergence into the butterfly stage, again, no frame of reference prior in that caterpillar's life to where the transformation it went through and then the next level of being. And a lot of people go through those deep initiatory transformative processes and they don't understand it. And that letting go in the chrysalis stage is a very big deal. And Anana's descent is one of those places where it's a transformation where as you are going, you're descending into the transformative process, parts of your life are like literally falling away. I went through a dark night of the soul, actually the year I turned 40, and looking back in it, I could absolutely call it also an Anana's descent. The business that I was in, I had a 500-people ballet school at the time. I sold that, so all of the way that I knew myself and my career went away. I gotten divorced. My relationship had gone away. It was like on every front I was standing in this, there wasn't anything left.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, and that's a big psychological descent. A really, really, really big deal. And a lot of people don't understand what you actually need to do there. And most people, if they're guided by outer world terrain and navigation tools, they want to get you out of there. Come on, get back to where you were. But the truth is, when you are in one of those deep processes, you need to learn the tools of the inner realm and learn to navigate in there, because that's really where the next creation, a magic for your life is going to come. Truly, it's like, something being cooked in compost, the beautiful new growth is going to come out of there. But there's that cooking phase, and you got to stay with the compost cooking phase until everything heats up enough for the new growth to happen. So, learning how to navigate those places of the soul is just so critically important, and to learn how to be with them. And that's one of the main reasons why I created that program, and then to give people some tools with the elements to really start knowing how to apply them in life even more fully, in a real introductory kind of deep way, but so that, it wasn't a longer-term program. It was just something you could really utilize in a 1-month period in a real concentrated fashion, just in small chunks, so you really got some awakening.
Well, it's true. It does that for sure, and it's so personal and intimate when you're listening to it. It's like it's just for you. And I love the way it helps us deal with fear also. Yeah. You talk about the 4 phases of fear and show us how to navigate through them. And that's so important because when you were talking about the stripping away and Anana's descent, one of the things that makes it harder than it needs to be is our feeling that something is wrong.
Yes.
And scrambling to get back what we had, and it just it makes everything a lot darker than it even needs to be. So can you tell us about those 4 phases of fear?
Well, absolutely. And the thing about fear is learning to recognize when it's activated, because it does something in the body. It completely constricts the body, and it constricts, it can constrict financial flow, it can constrict your creative flow. There's so many things. One of the phases of fear is you find yourself in an aggressive fighting mode, and you just got this upsurgence of this fighting energy, and you don't even realize that it's fear underneath. Also, freezing is one of the phases of fear, like I have absolutely no idea what to do. Another one is flee. I have got to get out of here. You know, I've left many a relationship before I learned how to recognize this, not realizing that fear was part of what I was dealing with. Or, you know, people can abandon a business that they've just gotten started, and they don't understand why. All of a sudden, they just want to get out of it. And it's because fear gets activated. And then there's faint. And faint is, you know, you feel, and you can hear these four phases when you really start to listen to people. It's when they get so like, you know, I just don't have the energy to do anything. I can't, you know, it's like all of the energy drains out of them. That's faint. And so knowing when these are going on in your consciousness can really help you to go, all right, there's another way for me to be present here. There's another way for me to engage this energy, and I can make some conscious choices. It doesn't mean I have to get rid of my fear, fight against it. It means I can move through it, and I can find another way to be that is going to help me really engage my creation energies and what I'm doing.
Wow. So tell us, as we're doing that, this whole program is aimed toward helping us really embody that energy of grace and put it in action in our own lives with what we're dealing with. So can you tell us more about that energy of grace itself?
Well, you want to know what's really interesting to me about 29 Days to Ignite Deep Grace. I got guided to create the program, and I put together, you know, what all the pieces were going to be, and then I began creating it. And I created it during the 29-day window so that I would really be connected to the energy of it. I was fascinated with how much more grace got activated inside of me during the creating of the program. And for me, one of the ways, and you know, I have a dance background, so I really understand grace at the physical level. And at the physical level, grace is when you have this flow of movement. It's when everything just moves beautifully together. It's a level of an essence of being when you're moving. Well, spiritually, that same thing is true. When grace is activated at a very deep level inside of you, no matter what, whether you're in one of those descents, whether you're having a dark night of the soul time, whether you're actually having a wonderful time in life and you're expanding to the next level, when grace is present, it brings this, what's called in the dictionary, I mean, this is the word they use, charm of movement, this place where things flow more easily. So even if you're facing a really tough thing in life, let's just say your parents are that there's a medical problem or somebody around you is having a really deep time, when you activate grace, you call on something larger than yourself to be present in the situation, and that activates this level of flow and blessings that far outreaches what we have in our normal state of being.
So true. And it's interesting to hear how focusing on that energy brought it even more into your own life while you were creating the program.
Unbelievable. I was really surprised. I mean, I was like,
well, and
wow.
it really shows in the program itself.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's a simple. I love the delivery system. I got a lot of sweet comments back about it because it was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. So you get a little you get a little teaching every day, anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. And most of them aren't very long, but it's focused on an aspect of this GRACE program for you to have a focus during that day. You get a little email every day, and there's a classroom where there's each of the days are listed, so if you miss a day, you don't have to go back through a lot more emails. You can just go to the classroom and get it. And then there's some bonuses in there. I put a bonus of the Elemental Forces of Creation audio book, and that's, some deeper teachings on the elements. So it's really quite rich, and I wanted to give your listeners today a little bit of a bonus about that too. So
well, tell us about it.
Well, I decided just as a gift for everybody that I would do 40% off of this program. It's already super affordable. The regular price of it's only $97. But I'm going to give it to everybody who's listening between now and the new moon in July, which is July 19th. So through the 18th, 40% off if you want to do it, which makes it only $58.20. And all you need to do to get this, it's a coupon, but you want to go, and I gave you the link, and the coupon code's all the same. So the URL is tinyurl.com/Kim29days. So the coupon code for the 40% off is Kim29days.
I love that. Thank you so much for offering that to my listeners. This is something that you all can get so much from, of all the different things that you may have thought of the different programs you may have thought of getting this year, or the different things you may have thought of listening to. This is something that I think will really change the way you work with life. It'll allow you to call in that energy of grace and make it a part of everything that you do, so that you're not dancing alone anymore, all off by yourself, but you're instead in this flow, in this dance, and the music is supporting you, and as the rest of the dancers are too. So I'm so grateful that Lisa has given us this discount, because I want you all to be able to take advantage of this program, and I know you'll be really happy you did. So again, that's tinyurl.com/Kim29days, and the coupon code is Kim29days, and I want to thank you, Lisa, so much for that.
Sure, absolutely. It's my pure pleasure. When I came on today, I was like, I wanted to give something to support all of your listeners, Kim, because I can so feel what a wonderful job you are doing, really helping women go through any of the transformations that they're experiencing in their life. So thank you for the work that you're doing in the world.
Oh, gosh, thank you. Well, your work has helped me a lot in my own journey. And one of the things I noticed, and I want to remind everyone that you can also go to Lisa's website and get that starter kit. I recommend everybody do that, in addition to the 29 Days of Grace, because it's very generous. It's got a lot of good stuff in there that really helped me get started. And the first thing I noticed was I could see which elements were kind of missing, that I didn't really have, that I wasn't activating enough within myself. Is that what most people notice? Do you find that people are, once they become conscious of it, aware of, ooh, I'm missing fire, or I'm missing earth?
Yeah. And maybe I'm missing earth, and I don't really understand how to work with earth. There be somebody who's got maybe a lot of air in their being, and they just don't know how to get things grounded into form. And as they learn to connect with earth more, they get that stability. Okay, here's how I do it. And any of the elements can be balanced like that, and which one, I'm curious for you, which one was the one you felt like?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I tend to be air and water. So I'm really in touch with my feelings, and I'm just full of inspiration and ideas all the time. But even though in my astrological makeup I've got Capricorn rising, so I've got a strong earth base there, I wasn't really in touch with the best ways to create structure, to put it into work. And also, I was lacking that fire of getting started and actually doing.
Well, one of the things about Capricorn rising, anybody's rising sign is what they've really come to learn to do. So there's not an innate understanding of how to utilize that. So unless you really have it somewhere deeper into your chart, when it's your rising sign, you have to learn how to do it.
I have found that to be true. Yeah, I do have it other places as well, but it is definitely part of my path to master it. This work has really helped me. That's why I want to recommend it so strongly to everyone. It's just when I first became aware of your work, it was like reminding me of something that I knew deep within, but I had forgotten. And it was like, of course, and I love the rhythm of it, the cycles that you talk about more deeply in your Natural Rhythms book. The way that we can move through the wheel of the year and do specific things, take advantage of the energies of each part of the year so that we're in this co-creational dance instead of feeling like everything's just happening to us or we're throwing a lot of effort at one time and then nothing the rest of the time. What have you found to be true with your clients around that?
Well, this is kind of strange, too. I've worked with rhythm first as a dance teacher, and then I've worked with rhythm with Natural Rhythms for 13 years now. And more and more and more I have understood how critical rhythm is to everything. If we don't have a good rhythm, and that means we're not taking good rhythmic action, let's just take it as a business example. If you are not rhythmically doing what you need to do in business to keep the cash flow flowing, for instance, or keep yourself getting new clients, then things eventually die off because the energy for something needs rhythmic refilling. In the same way the body has to be rhythmically fed every day. We rhythmically go to bed and get up in the morning. We are tremendous. We have a heart beating with rhythm. We are tremendously rhythmic creatures. So the more we align with the rhythms that flow through nature, the more in sync we are. The easier it is to, not just look at a calendar to know when to do something, but to really align with when there's extra energetic boost to do something in life.
I love that. And that rhythmic action, give us, that was a great example for business. Can you give us an example for just a woman's regular old personal life, or daily life, where that rhythmic action can really pay off?
Well, one of the key places, and I started to actually talk about relationship, and then I really tuned into, for a woman, she has got to rhythmically take care of herself. Tune into what she's feeling, tune into her thoughts, take time rhythmically every day, even if it's 5 minutes. This is my time when I focus on me. To have some self-care every day will keep a woman feeling filled up instead of burned out and dried out. So,
and I love the power of being in tune with the rhythms of the natural world, as opposed to just being kind of separated from them and living in this artificial way that we do. Most of us are used to living with the seasons. We live in the cycle of the seasons. Like we don't, in the Northern Hemisphere, we try to go skiing in the summer, for instance, but we don't really apply that to the rest of our lives. And I love the way your teaching shows us how to bring it down to the smallest level, like the fire energy in the sun, the rhythm of the sun shows us in a daily way when to be in action and when to be at rest. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's really important, too, when we tune into it.
Yeah, so that's one of the big gifts to take away from your work, I think, is it shows us how to enter into that dance in a way that supports us, so that we're not kind of out of sync with the rest of the energies. and wasting our energies and being frustrated and unfulfilled.
Yeah, really true, Kim. So beautifully said.
Oh, well, thank you, Lisa, so much for being here today. It's just, I love you and your work, and I'm just so excited to have you be part of the show. And thank you again for that special offer. And one more time, that's 29 days to ignite deep grace. It's transforming fear through the power of love. I know you'll love it, and you want to jump on this and take advantage of the discounted price. And again, that's tinyurl.com/Kim 29 days, and that's the coupon code, Kim 29 days. So thank you so much, Lisa. I look forward to talking to you again and again. And for everyone else, I'll be thinking of you all this week and wishing you all love and abundance.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Lisa. Bye-bye for now.
All right, bye-bye.